It's too salty.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Clean it.
The love that broke her. Amara was not a child anymore. She was a young woman, 20 years old, in university. Her heart was full of big dreams. She lived with her parents in a small house. They were not rich, but love filled every corner. Every morning, she woke up early, books tight in her hands, hope bright in her heart. "Amara, don't be late," her mother would call softly. "I won't, Mama," she would answer with a smile. Her father believed in her deeply. "You will finish school. You will become something great." Amara would smile wide. "Yes, Papa." She wanted to graduate. She wanted a better life for them all. She wanted to make her parents so proud. Everything felt clear. Everything felt bright. Until she met him. At the university, there was a lecturer named Mr. Daniel. He was older, much older. He had a calm voice and sharp eyes that saw everything. Everyone respected him. Most students feared him a little. But Amara, she noticed something different. The way he spoke, so clear, so sure. The way his eyes sometimes stayed on her longer than on others. One day, after class ended, he called her name. "Amara, wait." Her heart jumped, not from fear, from something new. "Yes, sir. You are doing well," he said quietly. She smiled, shy. "Thank you, sir. You are different." That word, different, it stayed inside her. It made her feel special, seen. Days passed. He began to call on her more in class. "Amara, answer this. Amara, stay after class." Their talks grew longer, not just about lessons anymore, about life, about dreams, about things no one else asked her. "You are mature," he told her one afternoon. "You understand things deeply." No one had ever said words like that to her. She felt important, truly seen. Slowly, her heart began to open to him. One evening, after class, the building was quiet, almost empty. "Walk with me," he said. They walked side by side, no students around, no noise, just their footsteps and the soft evening air. Then he stopped. He looked at her. "I like you, Amara." Her breath caught in her throat. "Sir, I know you are an adult," he continued gently. "You are 20. You can make your own choices." Her heart raced fast. This felt wrong, but it also felt exciting, warm. "I care about you," he added, his voice low. She looked into his eyes, and in that quiet moment, she chose feeling over careful thinking. They started seeing each other in secret. Quiet meetings, private moments. He would call her late. She would go. He said sweet things that wrapped around her like a blanket. "You are not like other girls. You understand me. You are special to me." Those words held her tight. She believed everyone. At home, she changed. She became quiet, distracted, lost in thoughts. Her mother noticed. "Amara, is everything okay?" "I'm fine, Mama," she would say quickly. But she was not fine. She was falling deeply in love. One evening, her father picked up her phone by mistake. A message glowed on the screen. "I miss you," from Mr.
Amara,
Daniel.
who
The room
is
went
this
silent,
man?
heavy. "Amara,
Papa,
who is this?" her father asked, voice low but shaking.
love
Her hands
Am.
trembled.
No,
"It's
no,
someone.
Amara,
Someone."
what?
His voice rose now. Her mother came closer. "Amara." Tears filled Amara's eyes. "I love him."
Mama, I love him.
Silence.
He will
Deep,
hurt you. No, he
painful.
won't. You don't
Who?
see it
Her
now.
father
I
asked
have
again.
made my choice.
"My lecturer," her mother gasped. "No." Her parents tried so hard to reach her. They begged. They cried. "He is too old," her mother said through tears. "He is your lecturer," her father added firmly. "This is not right." But Amara stood strong. "I am not a child. I am 20 years old. I can choose who I love." Her father shook his head slowly. "This is not love, my daughter." She refused to listen. "I will marry him." Those words broke something in their hearts. She stopped going to classes. Assignments piled up, unfinished. Books sat forgotten. Her dreams, they paused. All for this love. Her mother cried often. "Finish your studies first, please." "I will continue later," Amara promised. But deep inside, she knew the truth. She would not. Love had taken everything. The wedding was small, too small. No music, no joy, only quiet, only silence. Her parents came, but their faces carried heavy sorrow. Her father did not smile once. Her mother could not hold back her tears. Still, Amara smiled, because she believed this was her happiness. Mr. Daniel held her hand. "You are mine now." She smiled back, yes. She thought this was the beginning of something beautiful, but it was already the beginning of her deepest pain. The first few days felt calm, quiet, almost normal. Then things began to change, small at first. One day he looked at the food she cooked. "Why is this food like this?" His voice sharp. "I tried my best," she whispered. He pushed the plate away. It fell. Food spilled across the floor. Amara froze. "I'm sorry," she said, voice small. He looked at her, cold, empty. "Do better." That was the first sign, but she ignored it. She told herself it was nothing. Love would fix it. She held on tighter, hoping, praying, believing. But the signs kept coming, slow, steady, breaking her piece by piece. And so the love that once felt like light, slowly, painfully, broke her. Mr. Daniel walked in slowly. "You must learn," he said. She looked up, soft. "Learn what?" "How to be a wife." His voice was no longer gentle. It was firm now, hard, like stone. She swallowed. Yes. That night she barely slept. Not because she was afraid exactly, but because a small voice inside her kept whispering, over and over, "This is not right." The next morning she rose early. She cooked, she cleaned. She tried so hard to please him. When he came out of the room, she smiled, hopeful. "Good morning." He did not smile back. He looked at the plate. "What is this?" "Breakfast." He tasted one bite, his face twisted. "Too much salt." Before she could explain,
It's
he pushed the plate away.
salty.
It crashed to the floor.
I'm
Food everywhere.
sorry.
Amara froze. "I'm sorry."
Sorry.
He stared at her like she was nothing. "Clean it."
Clean it.
That was the first real crack. Small, but deep. Days turned into weeks. The smiles disappeared completely. The kind words vanished. Everything she did became wrong. "Why is the house like this? Why are you so slow? Are you useless?"
You don't know
Each question
anything.
was a blade. She tried harder, sweated more, apologized more, but nothing was ever enough. At night she sat alone on the floor sometimes, arms around her knees, rocking slowly. "Maybe if I do better tomorrow." She kept telling herself that. She did not yet understand. It was never about her. One afternoon she cooked with all her care, measured everything, tasted twice, served him quietly. He ate one mouthful, frowned. "I don't like it." He stood up. "I'm not eating this," and he walked out. Amara stared at the food she had worked so hard to make. Her own stomach had been empty since morning. She sat down slowly, then stopped. What if he comes back and sees me eating? So she left the plate untouched. That night her stomach growled louder than her sobs. Hunger became her closest companion. Then came the day everything shattered inside her. She forgot to iron one of his shirts. A small thing, a simple mistake. He shouted her name from the other room. "Amara!" She ran. Yes! Before the word finished, slap. Her head snapped to the side. Her ears rang like bells. The world went quiet. She touched her cheek. It burned. Tears ran before she could stop them. "I'm sorry," she whispered. He looked straight into her eyes. No regret, no softness. "Next time, don't forget." In that single moment, the love she had carried so carefully died. After that, Amara began to disappear. Not all at once, piece by piece. The girl who used to laugh easily, gone. The girl who dreamed big under the sun, gone. She became shadows and silence. Her eyes lost their light. Her voice stayed small. Even her shadow walking behind her felt heavy. One morning, she woke up dizzy, weak. Her body felt strange. She sat on the floor holding her stomach. My body. A few days later, she knew. She was pregnant. For one tiny second, a smile returned to her face. A real one. A baby. Maybe. Just maybe. A child would change him. When she told him, he stared. For real? Yes. He sat down, silent for a long time. Then he spoke. It better be a boy. Her smile froze on her lips. I don't know. He stood up. It must be a boy. The small hope she had held so tightly shook, but she still clung to it. Maybe a baby will fix everything. Pregnancy was hard. She felt tired all the time, weak, hungry most days, but nothing at home changed. The shouting continued, the complaints continued, the cruel words continued, sometimes worse. One night she curled on the bed, arms around her growing stomach, crying quietly. Please, my baby, be strong. She had no one to call, no friend left, no family nearby, only pain and the small life inside her. Then the day came. Long hours, screams, tears, pain that felt endless, and finally a cry. A tiny, perfect cry. A girl. Beautiful. Soft. My baby, Amara whispered through her tears. She smiled even while crying. She's beautiful. He walked into the room, looked down at the child. His face turned to stone. A girl? Amara's heart dropped. She held her daughter tighter. She is your child. I don't care. And he walked out, just like that. Amara cried then, not only for herself anymore, for the tiny girl in her arms who had done nothing wrong. She named her Amanda. Every night she held her close. You are enough, she whispered into the soft baby hair. You are my joy. Amanda would give a small, toothless smile, pure. And for a few seconds, Amara remembered what peace felt like. But peace never stayed. His anger grew bigger. You gave me a girl. I need a son. His voice filled every corner of the house. His hands became quicker. The hunger came back harder. The fear grew thicker. Amara endured it all, because now she had Amanda, a reason to keep breathing. Then she found out she was pregnant again. This time, no smile, only fear. Deep, cold fear. Every day she prayed the same prayer. Please, let it be a boy. Not because she wanted a son more than a daughter, but because she wanted the shouting to stop. She wanted the slaps to stop. She wanted one day without terror. Her heart was breaking slowly, day after day, night after night. She spoke less, cried more. Her body grew weaker, her spirit grew thinner. Still, she held on. For Amanda, for the new life inside her. She held on, even when she felt like letting go. She would sit alone in the corner, hands gently on her growing stomach, tears falling slowly down her face. A baby should bring joy, not fear, she whispered to herself. But her life had stopped being normal long ago. Every step she took inside that house now felt like walking on broken glass. If she spoke, he shouted. If she stayed quiet, he complained. If she cooked, the food was always wrong. If she rested even for a moment, she was called lazy. There was no peace anywhere, not in the rooms, not in the air, not even inside her own heart. Even little Amanda, who was growing older now, began to feel the darkness. The small child would start crying the moment her father raised his voice. Amara would pull her close, rocking her gently. It's okay. It's okay, my love. But nothing was okay. Nothing at all. One night, Amanda cried and cried. She was hungry. There was no food left in the house. Amara sat on the cold floor, holding her daughter tight against her chest. I'm sorry, my baby. Her voice cracked. Tears dropped onto Amanda's little face. The child cried even louder. Amara closed her eyes, pain cutting deeper than any slap she had ever received. I failed you. The day of birth came again. Pain returned, strong, sharp, unforgiving. She screamed for hours. No one held her hand. No one whispered that she was strong. She was completely alone. After what felt like forever, a new cry filled the room. Another baby. A girl. Beautiful, soft, perfect. Amara cried as she held her. My child. But these tears were heavier than before, because she already knew what was coming. She named her Laura. Amanda and Laura. Two beautiful, innocent girls. To him, they were only disappointment. He did not even carry the newborn once. Not once. Another girl, he said, voice thick with anger. You are useless. Amara's heart shattered all over again. After Laura was born, everything became worse, much worse. The shouting turned into pure rage. The anger turned into open cruelty. You gave me nothing, he screamed one day. Amara stood still, holding baby Laura in her arms, while Amanda hid behind her legs. I gave you children, she whispered. Slap. She fell to the ground. The baby cried. Amanda screamed in terror. Leave her, the little girl begged, but he did not stop. That day, something inside Amara broke completely. Little Amanda was no longer just a child. She became too quiet. Her small eyes always watching, always afraid. Whenever she heard footsteps, she would run straight to her mother. Mama. Amara would hold her tight. I'm here. But even she knew she could not protect them anymore. Then came the night of true darkness. Rain was falling hard outside. The house felt colder than ever. Laura was crying. She was sick and weak. Amara tried to calm her. Shh, my baby, please. But the crying would not stop. From the other room he shouted, Shut that child up. She is sick. Amara answered softly. His footsteps came closer, loud, angry. Then let her die. The words hung in the cold air like death. Amara froze. Her heart stopped beating for a second. She looked down at her sick child. Tears fell slowly. In that moment, she knew the truth deep in her bones. This man does not love us. Days later, the final storm arrived. He came home angry, very angry. No one knew why, but danger was thick in the air. "Amara," he shouted. She ran out. "Yes, get out." She blinked. "What?" "I said get out." Her heart dropped to the floor. "Please, where will I go with the children?" "I don't care." He grabbed her clothes and threw them outside. He picked up Amanda's things and threw them. Laura's clothes followed. "You and your useless daughters." Amanda started crying. "Mama." Amara fell to her knees. "Please." But he opened the door wide, pushed all three of them out, and slammed it shut, loud. Just like that, everything ended. The night was cold, very cold. Amara stood outside with her two small children. No home, no money, no food, only pain. She picked up their few things slowly. Amanda held tight to her dress. "Mama, where are we going?" Amara swallowed her tears. "Home." Her voice was weak, but she started walking, step by step, into the dark. She walked for hours. Her legs burned. Her body felt weak. Laura cried softly in her arms. Amanda was silent, too tired to speak. People passed them on the road. Some stared, some whispered, some even laughed. "She's back, with two children." Amara kept walking, head down, heart breaking with every single step. Finally, she stood in front of her parents' house. The same small house she had left behind with so much hope. The same door. Her hands shook badly. What will they say? Tears filled her eyes. She knocked, slowly. The door opened. Her mother stood there. For one long moment, she said nothing. Then, "Amara." Her voice broke. Amara fell into her arms like a little child again. "I'm sorry, Mama." She cried and cried. Her mother held her tight, crying too. "My child, my child." Her father stood behind them in silence, his eyes full of pain. Then he spoke softly. "Come inside." Life did not become easy after that. No, it became even harder. 3 extra mouths to feed, very little food, a small house already crowded. People talked, neighbors whispered, her old friends laughed behind her back. She left school for love. Now look at her. Amara heard every single word, every laugh, every insult, but she said nothing. She just kept her head down. At night, when everyone finally slept, Amara stayed awake, staring at the ceiling, remembering her mother's mournings, her father's sadness, her own proud words, "I love him." Tears rolled down her face in the dark. I was blind. She covered her mouth with both hands so no one would hear her cry. The weight of regret was heavier than anything she had ever carried. Life in her parents' house was not peaceful. Not because her mother and father did not love her. They did, deeply. But because the whole world was watching. Neighbors talked when she passed. Women at the village well whispered behind their hands. She thought she was better than us. See how she came back, with 2 children? Amara heard every single word, even when they spoke softly, even when they turned their faces away. Words have a way of finding broken hearts and cutting them deeper. One day she walked to the market, Laura tied safely on her back, Amanda's small hand held tight in hers. She kept her head down, trying not to be seen, but someone saw her, an old schoolmate. "Amara?" She turned slowly. The girl looked her up and down. "Is this really you?" Silence. "What happened to your big love story?" Then the laughter came, sharp, cold. It sliced straight through her. Amara felt her chest tighten. She wanted to say something, anything, but no words came. She just turned around and walked away. That laughter followed her all the way home. It stayed in her ears long after the market was far behind. That same night, she could not hold it in anymore. Her children were asleep beside her on the mat. She sat on the cold floor, and she cried. Not small tears, not quiet tears. Deep, heavy, painful tears that shook her whole body. I lost everything. My school, my life, myself. Her voice cracked in the dark. I chose this. That truth hurt the most. Her mother walked in quietly. She did not speak at first. She just sat beside her daughter on the floor and placed a gentle hand on her head. Amara cried even harder. I'm sorry, Mama. I didn't listen. Her mother's voice was soft and full of love. It is okay. No, it is not. I hurt you. Her mother shook her head slowly. You are alive. You came back. That is enough. Those simple words gave Amara something small, something she had lost long ago. A little comfort, a little light. Her father was different. He never shouted. He never said, I told you so. He never asked painful questions. He just watched her with quiet eyes. One evening, he called her name. Amara. She walked to him slowly. Yes, Papa. He looked at her for a long time. Deep. Then he said only 4 words. Pain teaches. Silence filled the room. Now, what will you do with what you have learned? He stood up and walked away, leaving her with that heavy question burning in her heart. The next morning, Amara woke up very early, before the sun, before everyone. She looked at her 2 sleeping daughters, Amanda and Laura, peaceful, innocent. She touched their soft faces gently. I cannot stay like this. I cannot break again. She stood up, slow but sure. That day, something inside her changed forever. She started small, very small. She looked for any work she could find, cleaning people's houses, washing clothes by the river, helping in small shops. Some people said no, some laughed at her, some paid her almost nothing, but she did not stop, because now she had a reason bigger than herself. There were still days with no food, still nights when their stomachs stayed empty. But it was different now. Before, she suffered in silence. Now, she was fighting for her children, for herself. Amanda would ask in her small voice, Mama, are we going to eat today? Amara would smile through the pain. Yes, soon, even when she was not sure. One night she held both girls close to her chest. Amanda, Laura. They looked up at her with those big, trusting eyes. You will go to school. You will not suffer like me. Amanda nodded slowly. Laura smiled. They did not understand everything yet, but they felt her love, strong, unbreakable. One afternoon, she saw him, Mr. Daniel, standing far away, talking to someone. Her heart jumped. Fear came rushing back. Pain came rushing back. But something else came too. Strength. Their eyes met across the distance. For one moment, time stopped. Then he looked away, like she meant nothing. Amara stood still. Then she whispered to herself, You no longer control me. And she walked away. For the first time, she did not feel weak. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. Life was still hard, but it was getting better. Little by little, step by step. Her children grew. Amanda started school. Laura followed soon after. And Amara, she smiled again. Not the old smile, a new one, stronger, deeper. She was no longer the young girl who ran after love. No, she had become a woman who understood life, a woman who knew pain, a woman who had survived. Her scars were still there, but they no longer controlled her. They reminded her. They taught her. One day she watched her children laughing and playing, happy, free, and she realized something beautiful. This is love, not pain, not fear, not hunger. Love is care. Love is safety. Love is peace. She finally understood. One evening she sat outside the house, watching the sunset paint the sky gold, her mother beside her, her children playing nearby. She spoke softly. I thought love would save me, but I had to save myself. Her mother smiled and held her hand tight. Amara lost many things, her school, her youth, her first dreams, but she found something greater. She found herself, her strength, her voice. Her story did not end in pain. No, it continued in power. Thank you so much for staying with me until the very end of Amara's journey. If this story touched your heart, moved you, made you cry, made you angry, or made you think, please take a moment right now to like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe if you want more stories like this one. Your support truly helps bring more powerful, healing, and real-life lessons to light. Now, let's talk about what we've carried from Amara's story. What I learned, and what I hope stays with you, is this. Love that hurts is not love. Real love protects. Real love builds. Real love does not break you piece by piece and call it care. Warnings from people who truly love you are not control. They are protection. Sometimes the people who see the danger clearest are the ones standing closest to you. Your mother, your father, your sister, your friend who keeps saying something doesn't feel right. And the most important lesson of all, no matter how far you fall, no matter how broken the pieces feel, you are never too far gone to rise again. You can start over. You can rebuild. You can become someone stronger than the version of you that once believed pain was part of love. If I were Amara, knowing everything I know now, here is exactly what I would have done differently to change my life. 1. The very first time he raised his voice in a way that made me feel small, I would have paused. I would have listened to that quiet voice inside me that whispered, "This is not right," and I would have trusted it instead of explaining it away. 2. When my parents begged me to finish school first, I would have listened, not out of fear of them, but out of respect for the dreams I once carried so proudly. Education was my ladder out. I would never have stepped off it for anyone. 3. The moment the first slap landed, that would have been my line in the sand. I would have packed one small bag that very night, taken my pride and my safety, and walked away. Before children came, before the damage went deeper. 4. I would have told one trusted person, my mother, a cousin, a lecturer I respected, what was really happening behind closed doors. Shame keeps us silent. Speaking breaks the cage. 5. And most importantly, I would have chosen myself sooner. I would have reminded myself every single day. I deserve peace. I deserve safety. I deserve love that feels like home, not like war. But here's the beautiful part. Even though Amara didn't do those things at first, she still rose. She still saved herself. She still gave her daughters a different story. So if you're watching this and you feel even a little bit like Amara once did, trapped, doubting yourself, making excuses for someone else's cruelty, hear me clearly. You are allowed to leave. You are allowed to choose peace. You are allowed to start again, and you are strong enough to do it. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. What lesson hit you the hardest from Amara's story? And if you were in her shoes at any point, what would you do differently today? I read every single comment. Your words matter. Your stories matter. Let's keep lifting each other up. Thank you again for being here. Until the next story, stay strong, stay kind to yourself, and never forget, you are worth saving. Much love.